हाय स्टूडेंट्स एंड फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू द चैनल लर्न एंड टीच बाय सर अयाज। मैं हूं आपका टीचर और होस्ट सैयद अयाजुद्दीन हैदर। और इस वीडियो लेसन में हम सॉल्व करेंगे पेपर 12 फॉर मई जून 2023। पेपर 12 जो है मल्टीपल चॉइस है और टोटल मार्क्स इस पेपर के हैं 40। ये 1 घंटे का पेपर है। देयर आर 40 क्वेश्चंस इन दिस paper. You have to answer all the questions. There will be 4 possible answers for each questions: A, B, C, and D. You have to choose one of the answers which would be the correct one. You are allowed to use calculator. Periodic table will be provided in this paper. So let's start the paper. Question number 1: sample of iodine is at room temperature and pressure. Which statement about the particles in the sample is correct? You know that a sample of iodine, when it is at room temperature, it must be in the solid state. Now they are talking about the particles. I'm reading all the statements. Choice A: the particles are arranged in a giant lattice. This is wrong because you know that iodine is a non-metal. In non-metals, most of the non-metals have simple molecular structure. They don't have giant lattice. There's only exception for the allotropes of carbon. Now it's in the solid state, so particles can't be arranged in giant lattice. Choice B: the particles have zero kinetic energy. This is also incorrect. You know that the particle does not have any zero kinetic energy. They must have some energy. Even in the solid state, the particles just vibrate about their fixed position. So you can't say that the particles have zero kinetic energy. Part C: the particles move randomly through the solid. This is also incorrect because the particles don't have enough energy to move randomly through the solid. Now in choice D, the particles vibrate about a fixed position. This is the correct statement. They are vibrating about their fixed position. Question number 2. Element Z, nucleon number 31, forms an ion Z3-. Where is Z found in the periodic table? Here is a periodic table. The nucleon number is given. If you look at the nucleon number of the element, you'll find it must be phosphorus, and it's in the group 5. So group 5, they form ions with the -3 charge. So here we have Z -3 charge because they need 3 electrons to complete their valence shell. So in this question, choice B will be the correct answer. Obviously, other choices are incorrect. Question number 3. Naturally occurring bromine has a relative atomic mass of 80 and consists entirely of 2 isotopes. Our relative atomic mass is 79 and 31. What can be deduced about naturally occurring bromine from this information only? A. Bromine contains the 2 isotopes in equal proportions. Now, if you look at the relative atomic masses of these 2 isotopes, they are 79 and 81. So if you add up these, then you have to divide it by 2. You will get 80, which means this choice is correct because it's saying that they are present in equal proportion. Both of these must be in equal proportion. That's why we are getting 80 as relative atomic mass of bromine. So choice A will be the correct one. For your convenience, I'm reading the other statements. B. Bromine has different oxidation states. Now, this information does not help you in predicting the different oxidation states of the bromine. So this is obviously wrong. Choice C. Bromine isotopes have different numbers of protons. You know what is the definition of isotopes? Definition of isotopes is different atoms of the same element with same number of protons but different number of neutrons. So this is also incorrect. D. Bromine is radioactive. This is also incorrect because the information does not suggest that bromine is releasing any energy. So we are left with only choice A, which will be the correct answer for this one. Question number 4. Element X and element Y react together to form a compound. Now we have two elements, X and Y, they are reacting to form a compound. The electronic configuration of X and Y are X is equal to 2, 8, 3 and Y is equal to 2, 6, which row shows the electron transfer that takes place and the type of compound form. Now, if you look at these two these two elements, you can see for X, the valence electron is 3, which means it must be in the third group of the periodic table. And Y is having 6, which means in the group 6 of the periodic table. So here's the periodic table. So we have two elements, one from group 3 and one from group 6. They both are reacting. So you know that group 3, they are metals. Group 6, they are non-metals. So the bond and compound must be ionic. It must be ionic between these two. And you all know that metals lose electrons, non-metals gain electron. So obviously, either choice B is correct or D is correct. And A and C are incorrect. Now I'm reading the statements for choice B. So for element X, each atom, there are two atoms of X, each will lose 3 electrons. What about Y? It will receive electrons and there must be 3 atoms which will receive 2 electrons. Now, if you predict the formula between these two, we will know that whether we are getting 2 atoms of X and 3 atoms of Y or not. So the valency for X will be plus 3, it's in group 3. Y, it must be minus 2, it's in group 6. Ignoring the charges, now these subscripts will be exchanged and we will get X2, Y3, which means this will be the right answer. For your convenience, I am reading the last statement also. 2 atoms each receive 3 electrons. This is wrong because X is a metal, it will lose electrons, not gain electrons. So this is incorrect also. Moving to question number 5. Which molecule has the largest number of electrons involved in covalent bond? So I'm drawing the displayed formula for these two. And remember, each dashed line represents 2 electrons. So this one is ethene. This is ethene. Displayed formula for ethene will be this. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 means 6 multiplied by 2, 12 electrons for this one. I am writing just number here. These are electrons involved in the bonding. What about CO2? Displayed formula for CO2 will be C double bond O, double bond O. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 multiplied by 2 means 8 electrons for carbon dioxide. What about methanol? CH3OH is methanol. This will be the displayed formula for methanol. Count the number of bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. So these are the number of electrons involved in covalent bond in methanol. What about D? N2. This is the displayed formula for N2. N triple bond N. 1, 2, 3. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. So obviously choice A will be the right answer for question number 5. Number 6. X is the arrangement of bonds around a carbon atom in graphite. Y is the arrangement of bonds around a carbon atom in diamond. Z is the arrangement of bonds around a silicon atom in silicon 4 oxide SiO2. Which arrangements of bonds are the same? So you know that diamond and Si2 having same arrangement of bonds. Both have tetrahedral structure. So Y and Z. C must be the right answer for this question. The other choices are incorrect. Number 7. What is the equation for the reaction between sodium carbonate and dilute nitric acid? So first of all, you must know the formula of these two compounds, that is sodium carbonate and dilute nitric acid. Sodium carbonate is Na2CO3 and nitric acid is HNO3. So obviously choice A, B are incorrect. We are left with C and D. Either C is correct or D is correct. C is wrong because again you are having H2NO3. So only choice D will be the right answer in this case. Na2CO3 plus 2HNO3 gives 2NaNO3 plus H2O plus CO2. Number 8. Which statements about relative atomic mass and relative molecular mass are correct? Number 1, the mass of different isotopes does not affect relative atomic mass. This is incorrect statement because it will definitely affect the relative atomic mass. 2, only covalent compounds have relative molecular mass. This is correct because covalent compounds have relative molecular masses. Ionic compounds, they have a relative formula mass. Compounds have relative formula mass. Number 3, relative atomic masses are compared to 1 by 12 of the mass of one atom of carbon 12. This is also correct because relative atomic masses are compared to 1 by 12 of the mass of one atom of C. So number 2 and 3 is correct. So choice C will be the right answer in this case. Number 9, aqueous hydrogen peroxide H2O2 decomposes slowly at 25 degrees centigrade. This is the chemical reaction. 2H2O2 aqueous gives 2H2O liquid plus O2 gas. The decomposition reaction takes place faster when a catalyst is added. A student adds a small amount of catalyst to 10 centimeter cube of 1 mole per dm cube H2O2 aqueous and collects a gas formed. The volumes of gas collected is 90 centimeter cube. This must be the volume of oxygen. It's 90 centimeter cube. All measurements are at room temperature and pressure. What is the percentage yield of O2? Now, what is the formula of percentage yield? The formula for percentage yield is experimental value multiplied by 100 divided by theoretical value. Now we have the experimental value, which is 90 centimeter cube. We need to calculate the theoretical value. So how I'm going to calculate the theoretical value? If I know the moles of these two, then I can easily calculate the theoretical value. So first of all, I'm going to calculate the number of moles of H2O2, which will help me in calculating the moles of oxygen. Then I will be able to calculate the volume of the gas oxygen. So we have 10 centimeter cube of 1 mole per dm cube H2O2, which means 10 multiplied by 1 and divided by 1000. 0.01 moles of H2O2. How I got this? I got this through doing this. 1000 centimeter cube of H2O2 contains 1 mole, which is according to the question. Therefore, 10 centimeter cube of H2O2 contains X moles. To the cross, you will get 0.01 moles of H2O2. Now we need to calculate the moles of oxygen according to the equation. We have H2O2, O2, 2 moles giving 1 moles or releasing 1 mole of oxygen gas. Therefore 0.01 moles gives x mole of oxygen. Do the cross, you will get this x equal to 0.01 divided by 2. 0.01 divided by 2. 0.005 moles of oxygen. So we know that at RTP, 1 mole of gas contains 24,000 centimeter cube. Therefore 0.005 contains x centimeter cube. So we will multiply 0.005 by 24,000. We'll get 120. So theoretical value will be 120. I'm writing it here, 120 centimeter cube. So 90 multiplied by 100 divided by 120. 90 multiplied by 100 divided by 120, 75%. So D must be the right answer for this question. Remember, you have to organize yourself so that you must have enough time to do these calculations during the exam. Number 10. The diagram shows the structures of the atoms of two elements, X and Y, X and Z. X and Z are not the atomic symbols of these elements. P is for proton, N is neutron, E is electron. The elements combine to form a compound. What is the mass of 1 mole of this compound? So look at their valence electrons. X contain 1, which means it's in the group 1. So I'm writing +1 here. What about Z? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It must be in group 6. The valency will be -2. Predicting the formula charges will be ignored. So you'll get X to Z. So which means it must be having 2 atoms of X and 1 atom of Z. So in order to calculate the mass, you have to multiply 2 by the nucleon number, which is 3 plus 4, 7. So 7 multiplied by 2 gives 14. Z 1 atom. So we will add 8 neutron plus 8 proton, 16. So you will add 16 and 14. We will get 30. So 30 gram must be the right answer for this question. So 30 is the right answer for this question. Question number 11. Here is a question. Which compound contains 45.2% nitrogen by mass? We have 4 compounds. We have ethane 1,2-diamine, hydroxylamine, methane amide, methyl amine. So what I will do, first of all, I need to calculate the MR of all of these. For ethane 1,2-diamine, the mass will be AR of each element is provided to you: carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen. There are 2 nitrogen atoms in this, so we have to multiply 14 by 2. We'll get 28. And we have 2 carbon, so 2 multiplied by 24, 2 multiplied by 12, we'll get 24. We have 8 hydrogen atoms, so we will multiply 1 by 8, we get 8 here. If we'll add up these, 28 plus 24 plus 8, 60. So 28 multiplied by 100 divided by 60. 2800 divided by 60. 46.666. 46.666. This is the wrong answer. So let's check for hydroxylamide, that is NH2OH. The MR for NH2OH will be 14. We have one atom of nitrogen, one atom of oxygen, plus 16. We have three atoms of hydrogen, so we have 3. If you add up these, what you will get? 14 plus 16, 30. 30 plus 3, 33. 14 multiplied by 100 and divided by 33. 42.424. This is also incorrect. But what C? Methanamide. We have HCONH2. 1 carbon. So 12. 1 oxygen. 16. 1 nitrogen. 14. 3 hydrogen. 3. So you should add up these. 12 plus 16 plus 14 plus 3, 45. So 14 multiplied by 100 divided by 45. Answer is 31.111. This is wrong. So obviously choice D is the right answer. So D will be the right choice. Question 12. Aqueous copper 2 sulfate is electrolyzed using copper electrodes. The current is constant and the anode is weighed at regular time intervals. Which graph is obtained when the mass of the anode is plotted against time? So when we are electrolyzing copper 2 sulfate using copper electrodes, two things will happen. There is increase in mass of the cathode and decrease in mass of the anode. So the graph which shows the decrease in the mass of the anode will be the right one. The mass of anode does not become constant. So obviously choice A, B and D, they all are incorrect. C will be the right answer in this case. Number 13, what is a chemical product of a hydrogen oxygen fuel cell? So hydrogen oxygen fuel cell gives only water. So D will be the right answer in this case. All the other choices are incorrect. Number 14, hydrogen can be produced by reacting methane with steam. Here's a reaction. CH4 plus 2H2O gives CO2 gives CO2 plus 4H2. Using the bond energies in the table, what is the enthalpy change of reaction delta H? So here's a table for bond energy. For different bonds, we have CH bond, we have OH bond, we have HH, we have C double bond O. First of all, you should know the formula for delta H. Delta H is energy change for reactants or energy needed to break the bonds. Needed to break the bond. That is on the reactant side. Minus energy release when bonds are made. So that will be on the product side. You should know the displayed formula for each of these. This will help you in working out the calculations. So CH4, we have CH4. This is CH4 plus 2H2O, 2 molecules of H2O. So HOH. How many CH bonds is there? There are 4 CH bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 multiplied by 435 plus How many OH bond is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 multiplied by 463. So 4 multiplied by 435, we'll get 1740 plus 4 multiplied by 463, 1852. Now you have to subtract the energy released when bonds are made. So we have CO2, O double bond C double bond O plus 4H2. We have 4 moles of H. 1, 2, 3, 4. So first of all CO. 1, 2. So 2 multiplied by 805 plus we have 4 HH bond. 4 multiplied by 436. So 2 multiplied by 805 gives 1610 plus 4 multiplied by 436, 1744. So if you subtract the energy released when bonds are made from the energy needed to break the bond, the answer will be, we have 1740 plus 1852 minus 1610 minus 1744. We get plus 238. So C will be the right answer in this case. This will be the right answer. Number 15. What is the best way of slowing down the reaction between magnesium and sulfuric acid? A. Adding a catalyst to the reactant. This is wrong. The reason is that catalyst increases the rate of reaction. B. Diluting the acid used in the reaction. This looks correct to me. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements. Stirring the reagents. When you stir the reagents, you are making it faster. You are increasing the rate of the reaction. So this is also incorrect. D. Using magnesium powder instead of a strip of magnesium. This also increases the rate of reaction because now you are increasing the surface area of the reactant. So this is also incorrect. B will be the right answer in this case. 16. The volume of gas produced by the reaction of 100 centimeter cube of hydrochloric acid with an excess of calcium carbonate is measured in 2 experiments. The volumes of gas are measured at RTP and the results are shown. These are 2 experiments. We have experiment 1 and experiment 2. You see the difference in experiment 2, the amount of gas produced higher. Which one change in conditions to experiment 1 gives the results for experiment 2? Assume all other conditions are unchanged. A. A greater volume of acid is used. This is incorrect. The great volume of or increasing the volume of acid will not increase the amount of gas produced. The number of moles will definitely. B. The higher concentration of acid is used. This looks correct to me because this tells that the higher concentration or higher number of moles of acid is used here. For your convenience, I am reading the other statement. C. Small pieces of calcium carbonate are used. A small piece of calcium carbonate is used. This only increases the rate of reaction. This won't increase the amount of gas produced. D. The temperature of the acid is higher. This also increases the rate of reaction. This will not increase the amount of gas produced. So B will be the right answer in this case. Number 17. Hydrogen is made industrially by the reaction shown. CO gas plus H2O gas gives CO2 gas plus H2 gas. Delta H is negative, which means this is exothermic. Statements about this industrial process are given. 1. A high pressure can be used to increase the rate of formation of hydrogen. So if we increase the pressure, what will happen? Will it increase the rate of formation of hydrogen? Yes, this statement is correct. Number two, a high pressure can be used to shift the equilibrium to right hand side. Now you know that when we talk about the shifting of equilibrium, high pressure will shift the equilibrium to the side with a less number of moles. So if you count the number of moles of gases on both sides, so both are equal. On the reactant side, it's 2, 1 plus 1. It's 2 on the product side, again 1 plus 1, it's also 2. So it has no effect on the equilibrium if you increase the pressure, because the number of moles are same on both sides of the reaction. Number 3, a high temperature can be used to increase the rate of formation of hydrogen. This is also correct, because high temperature will definitely increase the rate of reaction. Number 4, a high temperature can be used to shift the equilibrium to the right hand side. Forward side is exothermic, so definitely the equilibrium will shift to the left hand side or the reactant side. So this is incorrect. Only 1 and 3 is correct, so B will be the right answer in this case. 18. The table refers to two important industrial gaseous reactions. So we have reaction 1. This is reactant, hydrogen plus nitrogen. Product is ammonia. Catalyst is nickel. Reaction 2. The reactants are oxygen and sulfur dioxide. Product is sulfur trioxide. Catalyst used is vanadium 5 oxide. Which catalysts are correctly stated? Only number 2 is for number 2, reaction number 2, the catalyst stated is correct. For number 1, this is wrong. We use iron, not nickel, as a catalyst for the formation of ammonia from hydrogen and nitrogen. So obviously choice B will be the right answer in this case. 19. Iron 2 ions react with chlorine. This is a reaction. 2Fe2 plus aqueous plus Cl2 gas gives 2Fe3 plus aqueous plus 2Cl minus aqueous. Which statement about this reaction is correct? Choice A. Chlorine is reduced by iron 2 ions. This statement is correct because chlorine is reduced by Fe2 plus ion. You see the charge on chlorine, the oxidation number or the charge on chlorine, it has gained electron or decrease in oxidation state. Gain electron, decrease in oxidation state, which is reduction. So it is chlorine is definitely reduced by iron 2 plus ions. So this statement is correct. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements. B. Chlorine is a reducing agent. If chlorine is a reducing agent, it means that chlorine is reducing Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus, which is incorrect. Chlorine is oxidizing agent. So this is incorrect. Number C, iron 2 ions are reduced by chlorine. No, it is not reduced, it is oxidized by chlorine. So this is also incorrect. Number D, iron 2 ions are the oxidizing agent. It means that iron 2 ions are oxidizing chlorine gas into chlorine ions, which is wrong. It's acting as a reducing agent. So only choice A will be the right one in this case. Number 20, which reagent and observation describes the test for a reducing agent? Now, if you want to test a reducing agent, you must have oxidizing agent before that reducing agent. So we have only acidified aqueous potassium magnate 7 acting as a oxidizing agent, not aqueous potassium iodide. So can narrow down the choices. C and D is incorrect. Now we are left with A and B. Either A is correct or B is correct. The color of acidified aqueous potassium magnate is purple and it will change to colorless when you react it with the reducing agent. So obviously B will be the right answer in this case. Question number 21. Compound X is a gas at room temperature. X dissolves in water to give a solution with a pH of 4. Which statement about compound X is correct? A. An aqueous solution of X will not conduct electricity. This is wrong because it will definitely conduct electricity, because this pH tells that it's an acidic solution. Acidic solution, they have free ions, and it will definitely conduct electricity. The conduction of electricity in the solution is due to the presence of the free ions. B. Atoms of a metallic element are present in X. This is wrong because metallic element does not produce a solution with a pH of 4. Instead, it may produce a solution with a pH of above 7 and below 14, which means that should be basic. So this is also incorrect. C. Atoms of hydrogen are present in X. This looks correct to me because atoms of hydrogen are present, which means that pH of the solution will decrease. It will be below 7. So this is the right statement. For your convenience, I'm reading the last statement. X. D. X is ionically bonded. No, X is ionically bonded. X is a gas at room temperature. When you are saying X is gas at a room temperature, it doesn't have any ionic bond in it at this state. But it will definitely have when you dissolve this in water. So this is also incorrect. Only choice C is the right answer in this case. Question number 22. Which statement about hydrochloric acid is correct? A. Hydrochloric acid reacts with magnesium carbonate to form 3 different products. This statement is correct. I'm reading the other statements. Hydrochloric acid reacts with magnesium to form magnesium chloride and water. This is wrong. The reason is that when you react metal with acid, you will get salt and hydrogen gas, not water. Here magnesium is metal and acid is hydrochloric acid. Salt is magnesium chloride, and you will not get water in this case. C. When hydrochloric acid is added to a colorless solution of hemophthalene, it turns blue. This is also incorrect. The color will not turn to blue. It will turn to yellow or any other color, but it's not blue. When hydrochloric acid is warmed with ammonium chloride, ammonia is formed. This is also incorrect because when you react ammonium salt, that is ammonium chloride here, with alkalis, you will get ammonia. You won't get ammonia when you are treating ammonium salts with acid. So this is also incorrect. I beg your pardon, I don't remember the color change, but this is for sure that it will not turn blue in case of choice C. So choice A will be the right answer in this case. Question number 23. The addition of calcium hydroxide to soil reduces its acidity but also reduces the efficiency of fertilizers. Which two equations explain this? A. CaOH whole twice plus CO2 gives CaCO3 plus H2O. This is incorrect. The reason is that it's reacting with carbon dioxide, not reacting with the acid present in the soil. Statement number 2, reaction number 2. COH whole twice solid plus 2H plus aqueous gives Ca2 plus aqueous plus 2H2O liquid. This statement, this reaction is correct. The reason is that H positive ion is coming from the acid and calcium hydroxide is reacting with the acid, which in turn reduces the acidity of the soil. Number 3, CaOH whole twice solid plus 2NH4NO3 aqueous gives CaNO3 whole twice plus 2NH3 plus 2H2O liquid. This reaction is also correct because this reduces the efficiency of the fertilizer. The reason is that this is the ammonium salt and the calcium hydroxide is reacting with fertilizer, producing a salt and releasing ammonia in the air. So this is also correct. The last reaction, CaOH whole twice solid plus Cu2 plus aqueous gives CuOH whole twice solid plus Ca2 plus aqueous. This is incorrect. So only reaction 2 and 3 is correct in this case. Number 24, which anions are contained in salts that are always soluble in water? You know that we have only 1 ions that are soluble in water, that is nitrate. So easily C is the right answer in this case. The element phosphorus P is immediately below nitrogen in the periodic table. It forms an oxide with the empirical formula P2O5. From the position of phosphorus in the periodic table, the element is expected to be dash 1 and the bonds in its oxide to be dash 2. Which words correctly complete gaps 1 and 2? So in 1 we have metal and non-metal, in 2 we have covalent and ionic. So looking at the position of phosphorus and oxygen, this is the position of phosphorus here. If you look at the position of phosphorus, this is phosphorus and this is oxygen. Both of these are non-metals. So definitely the compound form must be covalent. So C will be the right answer in this case. It's very easy. Question number 26. So here's the question. Which statement is correct? A. Group 1 elements are less reactive than group 2 element in the same period because they only need to lose 1 electron to have complete shells. This is not true. This statement is incorrect because group 2 elements need to lose 2 electrons. So they aren't more reactive than group 1. B. Group 1 elements are stored under oil to avoid reaction with oxygen and water in the air. This statement is correct because they are highly reactive metals. This is the group 1 metals: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, and the reactivity trend increases from top to bottom. So they are definitely stored in oil in order to avoid their reaction with oxygen and water present in the air. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements. Choice C. Group 1 elements become more reactive as a group is descended because the number of outer shell electrons increases. Well, that's true that group 1 elements become more reactive as a group is descended, but the reason is incorrect. They don't, the number of outer shell electrons does not increase, it will remain same. Instead, the distance between the valence electron and nucleus increases, which becomes easier for a metal to lose its valence electron. D. The melting point of group 1 elements decrease as the group is descended because there is more attraction between positive ions and the sea of delocalized electrons. This is incorrect. The reason is that because if the attraction between the positive ion and the sea of delocalized electrons increases, then it means that more force, more energy will be needed to break down the force between the atoms or the attraction between positive ion and the sea of delocalized electrons. So here, the melting point decrease. This is not the reason. So choice B will be the right answer in this case. Question number 27. The table shows some properties of transient elements and the reasons why they have these properties. Which row show a correct property and the reason why transition elements show this property? Iron has 2 common oxidation states, 1 and 2. Reason: iron atoms can lose 1 or 2 electrons to form compounds. Well, iron has 2 common oxidation states, that is Fe plus 2 and Fe plus 3. So this is incorrect. B. Nickel can be used as a catalyst. The use of nickel raises the activation energy of the reaction. This is incorrect because catalyst decreases the activation energy requirement of the reaction. Choice C. The reaction of aqueous sodium hydroxide with the salt of transition element can be used to identify the element. Transition metal hydroxides are often colored. This is true because transition metal hydroxides are often colored. So you can use aqueous sodium hydroxide to identify the element. D. Transition elements have high melting points. The presence of varying number of electrons in the sea of delocalized electrons weakens the metallic lattice. If the metallic lattice, the attraction in the metallic lattice decreases, which means that there will be low melting point. It can't be high melting point. So this is also incorrect. Only choice C will be the right answer in this case. 28. Which equation is correct? A. Cu solid plus O2 solid, O2 gas gives 2CuO solid. The equation is correct, but it's not correctly balanced. We need to put 2 before Cu. So A is incorrect in this case. B, Mg solid plus H2SO4 aqueous gives MgSO4 aqueous plus H2 gas. This equation looks correct to me as it is balanced also. C, Na solid plus H2O liquid gives NaO aqueous plus H2 gas. This is incorrect because we won't get NaO. We'll get Na2O instead. And furthermore, when sodium is reacted with H2O, you will get sodium hydroxide, not sodium oxide. So this one is also incorrect. D, 2ZnS plus 2HNO3 aqueous gives 2ZnNO3 aqueous plus H2 gas. This is incorrect. The reason is that Zn has 2 valency and NO3 carries -1 charge. So the compound between these two will be ZnNO3 whole twice. So only choice which is correct in this case will be B. 29. Metal X reacts with cold water to form a gas. Zinc displaces a metal Y from solutions of its salts. The carbonate of metal Z is insoluble. What could be the identities of X, Y, and Z? So metal X reacting with cold water to form a gas. It must be one of the reactive gas, reactive metals. It can be either sodium or magnesium. So in choices, this is for the identity of the X. In choices A, B, and D, sodium is taken as X. So only C is incorrect. So I have narrowed down the choices. Now let's check A, B, and D in order to see whether it's correct or not. A, X is sodium, Y is magnesium. So what's happening with magnesium? Magnesium is displaced by zinc because zinc displaces metal Y from solution of the salt. The carbonate of metal Z is insoluble. So sodium, the carbonate of sodium, carbonate of sodium is soluble in water. So this is incorrect. This A is incorrect. What about B? X is sodium. Yes, that's correct. Y can be copper. Zinc can displace copper because zinc is more reactive than copper. And Z, in Z they've written copper. The carbonate of metal Z is insoluble, which is also true. So this looks correct to me. For your convenience, I am checking the last choice. X sodium, Y copper, Z sodium. This is incorrect. So only B will be left and it's the right answer in this case. Question number 30. Which statement about alloys is correct? A, they are compounds of 2 or more metals. No, alloys are mixture of metals, so A is incorrect. B, they are mixtures of metals with other metals or non-metals. This looks correct to me. Now I'm reading the other statements. C, they conduct electricity because they have ionic bonds between the metal atoms. This is incorrect because they contain metal cations, and the reason for the conduction of electricity is free moving or delocalized electrons. So this is also incorrect. D, they have identical physical properties to the metals they contain. This is wrong. Alloys are harder or less malleable or less ductile than the metals they contain. So only choice B will be correct in this case. 31. Pieces of magnesium can be attached to the steel hull of a ship to prevent rusting. This is sacrificial protection. Which statements about sacrificial protection are correct? 1. Iron atoms gain electrons and form hydrated iron 3 oxide. This is wrong because iron atom does not gain electron. when it's forming hydrated iron 3 oxide. Instead, it will lose electron. So this is incorrect. Number 2, magnesium atoms gain electrons to form magnesium ions. It is also wrong. Magnesium is a metal. It will lose electron to form magnesium ions, and here it's offering sacrificial protection, which means it will corrode or rust in preference to iron. So magnesium atoms will lose electrons to form magnesium ions. This is also wrong. Number 3, magnesium is oxidized. This is wrong. Sorry, this is correct. Oxidize means it will lose electron. So only statement 3 is correct. So D will be the right answer in this case. 32. Why is carbon used in water purification? This is very easy. A, it acts as a filter to remove insoluble solids. This is incorrect. B, it adds oxygen to the water. This is also wrong. Number C, it disinfects the water. This is also wrong. Chlorine is used to disinfect the water. D, it removes taste and odor. This is the right answer. 33. Which statement about air pollutants is correct? A, catalytic converters in vehicles change a toxic gas into a non-toxic gas. This is correct. This is true because it's converting toxic gases into non-toxic. The toxic gases are CO, carbon monoxide, which is removed in catalytic converter. B, flue gas desulfurization uses calcium nitrate. This is wrong. Calcium carbonate is used in desulfurization, not calcium nitrate. C, photosynthesis is a process that releases carbon dioxide. This is wrong because it releases oxygen, releases O2, not CO2. D, sulfur dioxide is responsible for photochemical smog. This is wrong. Sulfur dioxide is not responsible for photochemical smog. Instead, the dust particles or unburned carbons responsible for photochemical smog. So this is also wrong. A will be the right answer in this case. Question number 34. What is the structural formula of propyl methanoate? Propyl methanoate. Propyl, the formula of propyl will be this: C, 3 carbons, CH3, CH2, CH2. Methanoate. Methanoate, it means it must be coming from methanoic acid. So we will have OOCH. So this is propyl methanoate. So only choice D shows this formula. So this will be the right answer. For your convenience, I am reading the other choices also. A. In A, what do we have? We are having propyl. This is propyl. And this is ethanoate. This is propyl ethanoate. Propyl ethanoate. So this one is incorrect. B. In B, we are having different kind of compound here, which is out of the syllabus. C, we have CH3, CH2, COOCH3. It must be methyl propanoate. Methyl propanoate. This is also wrong. So only choice D is the right answer in this case. 35. Which statement about ethane is correct? Each ethane molecule contains exactly 7 bonds, all of which are single covalent bonds. I am drawing the display formula for ethane. The molecular formula for ethane is C2H6. The 2 carbon, 1, 2. Let's count the number of bonds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they all are single covalent bond. This looks correct to me. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements also. B, ethane is a member of the homologous series of alkanes, a family of unsaturated hydrocarbons. This is incorrect because it's a family of saturated hydrocarbons, not unsaturated. C, the equation for complete combustion of ethane is C2H6 plus 3O2 gives 2CO2 plus 3H2O. If you count the number of atoms on each side of the equation, carbon is balanced, hydrogen is also balanced. What about oxygen? We have 6 oxygen on the reactant side because 3 multiplied by 2 gives 6. On the product side, 2 multiplied by 2 is 4 and 4 plus 3 is 7. Oxygen is not balanced. So this is incorrect. D, when a molecule of ethane reacts with chlorine, one hydrogen atom is replaced by a chlorine molecule. Hydrogen atom is definitely replaced when ethane reacts with chlorine molecule, but hydrogen atom is replaced by chlorine atom, not molecule. So this is incorrect also. Only choice A will be the right answer in this case. 36. Isoprene is an alkene which is commonly found in plants. Which properties does isoprene have? It burns in air. Yes, this is correct. Number 2, it can form polymers. Yes, this is also correct because it's an alkene. It contains a carbon-carbon double bond, so it will definitely form polymer. 3, it decolorizes aqueous bromine. It contains carbon-carbon double bond, so it will definitely decolorizes aqueous bromine. So all these 3 statements are correct. So choice A will be the right answer in this case. 37, the structure of an ester is shown. This is the ester. Which 2 compounds react to form this ester? Now I'm going to break this ester so that you will know which alcohol and carboxylic acid is responsible for the formation of this ester. This part is coming from the alcohol, and there are 3 carbon atoms, so it means propanol, and it must be propane 1-ol, propane dash 1 dash ol. CH3COO, it must be coming from the carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid. There are 2 carbon atoms, so it must be ethanoic acid. So we have propane 1-ol and ethanoic acid for this one. So only choice C will be the right one in this case. What about question number 38? 25 centimeter cube of 1 mole per dm cube sodium hydroxide is titrated with dilute sulfuric acid using a suitable indicator. 25 centimeter cube of sulfuric acid is required to reach the end point. What is the concentration of the sulfuric acid and which indicator is used? So let's write the reaction equation between these 2. We have sodium hydroxide, NaOH, sulfuric acid is H2SO4. Product will be Na2SO4 plus water, H2O. Let's balance the equation. So we have to write 2 here. So it must be 2 moles of water. Now we have 2 moles, number of moles for sodium hydroxide. Let's write N1, 2 moles of sodium hydroxide. N2 for the moles of H2SO4, it must be 1 mole. Okay, what about the volume V1 for sodium hydroxide? According to the question, it is 25 centimeter cube. And for sulfuric acid V2, it is also 25 centimeter cube. What about the concentration of sodium hydroxide? It's given M1 gives 1 mole per dm cube. M2, we need to find the concentration of sulfuric acid. So we have the formula M1 V1 by N1 is equal to M2 V2 by N2, or you can write M2 is equal to M1 V1 multiplied by N2 divided by N1 multiplied by V2. Let's putting all the values. M1 is 1, V1 it's 25, N2 it's 1, divided by N1. N1 is 2 multiplied by V2. V2 is also 25. So 25 will be cancelled out by 25. In the end, we are left with 1.1 by 2 or 0.5. 0.5 will be the concentration for sulfuric acid. Either A is correct or B is correct. So which indicator will be used in this case? We will use methyl orange. We will not use universal indicator because we are not looking for the identification of acids and alkalis. We are looking for the change in color during a titration reaction. So A will be the right answer in this case. 39. The results of a paper chromatography experiment are shown. X is an aqueous solution of a salt of a group 1 element. Y is an aqueous solution of a salt of transition element. X group 1 salt, Y transition element salt. Okay, which row is correct? If you look at the chromatogram, Y is more soluble in the solvent. It has covered a large distance as compared to X. So Y must be soluble in the solvent, and which means that it has higher RF value. So either C is correct or D is correct. Now, which one requires a locating agent? Group 1 salts, they do not give any color. So group 1 definitely need locating agent. So choice C will be the right answer in this case. Last question, aqueous sodium hydroxide is used to identify the ions present in aqueous solutions of compounds Q and R. The results are shown. For the colored solution, before addition of sodium hydroxide, Q, and after addition of a few drops of sodium hydroxide gives green precipitate. So you know that green precipitate either Cr plus 3 or Fe plus 2 gives green precipitate. Now R, colored solution before addition of aqueous sodium hydroxide, after addition of aqueous sodium hydroxide and heated, the gas given off, it must be ammonium, because ammonium ion, if it is there, it will react with the alkali, releasing gas, which is ammonia here. So either choice A is correct or C is correct. Both B and D is incorrect. In this case, choice A will be the right answer because green precipitate Cr3 plus and ammonium ion given by in A. Thanks for watching. Press like and share my videos. For more videos, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.